All right, Shalom, Wa Barakathum. All praises be to the Most High God, Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, whose name is Yahweh Shai. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. This is the book of Isaiah 58 and verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins. So this is the alarm before the storm, which is the times we're coming into. Perilous times, as the scriptures, refer to the time of Jacob's trouble, a time that has never been on the earth. In that time of Jacob's trouble, there's an alarm that's going off before that is letting it be known that there's impending, imminent danger. So the trumpet is being blown, and the only ones that can hear it are the believers that have been preordained to receive this understanding. This is the book of Amos 3 in verse 6. It says, shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in a city, and the Lord Yahweh hath not done it? So most people are not aware of the fact that the Most High is about to bring death, hell, calamity, and chaos on the earth in these last days. They're unaware of that. But the trumpet is being blown, and the ears and the eyes of the believers are open unto this understanding. As the scriptures say in John the 10th chapter, my sheep hear my voice and they follow me. So the evil that's being brought, which is the time of Jacob's trouble, and ultimately the missiles that's going to destroy Babylon the Great in various parts of the earth, that's all coming from the Most High. And he's warning ahead of time everyone, but the elect are the only ones that's going to actually take ear to this warning, because the Most High gave the believers the gift of prophecy, the gift of understanding, and the gift of faith. Ezekiel 33 in verse 7, so thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel, Yasha'Allah. Therefore thou shalt hear the word at my mouth and warn them from me, meaning to blow the trumpet. Warn them from me. That's why Yahweh Shai was emphasizing that to Peter. If you love me, feed my sheep 3 times. Ezekiel 33 and 7 again. So thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel, Yasha'Allah. Therefore thou shalt hear the word at my mouth and warn them from me. So upon receiving this understanding, a prophet's job is to do this work in truth and sincerity, and to warn the flock, to warn Israel of what's coming. And why is that important? When you go to the book of Jeremiah, the 28th chapter, this is why the warning part is so important. And the prophet's job is so important in these last days. Although the men of the Lord are not regarded as much, the scriptures tell us there's nothing new under the sun. Jeremiah 28 and 7, nevertheless, hear now thou this word that I speak in thy ears and in the ears of all the people. So everyone is hearing this truth. Everyone is hearing this understanding going forth. The trumpet is being blown, but the only ones that can comprehend are those who've been given that gift of faith, understanding, and they have been given this wisdom and knowledge from the heavens too. This wisdom and knowledge has been granted unto those that have been preordained. The scriptures also tell us, that in Jude, the 1st chapter, that I will therefore put you in remembrance, though you once knew this. So those that are returning, well, they were already programmed through the Spirit, through the engrafted word, through the Holy Spirit, the Brakah Kodash. Verse 8, Jeremiah 28 and 8, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old, which those prophets are back now. Those believing men, women, and children from the ancient world are back now. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesy both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. So the prophet's job is to warn and give instruction. Now, who actually takes ear to those instructions? Well, that's all orchestrated by the Most High God, Yahweh, and His Son, Yahweh Shai. As the scriptures tell us that the Most High gives the increase. So the Most High said, warn them of me, warn them from me. He's put his words in our mouth to warn our people, because the Most High is actually threatening our people, letting them know if they don't return, the prophets are given the penalty and the judgment that's coming for disobeying his lawful words, his righteous words. This is Isaiah 62:6. And it reads, I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem. These are the men of the Lord, those that have been chosen to come and do this work, those that have actually been here from the foundation of the world. Let's show that and come right back. Luke 1 in verse 71. And it reads, Luke 1 and 70, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began. So the men of the Lord, the prophets of Yahweh, have been since the beginning of time. Isaiah 62:6, I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, Yerushalayim in the Hebrew, which is the city of peace, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. Ye that make mention of the Lord Yahweh, keep not silence. So the believers are not keeping silence. And you believe in brothers and sisters that might not be teaching, you're not keeping silent either, because you're finding your place in this ministry as a servant of the Most High God, Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, and his son. Verse 7, Isaiah 62:7, and give him no rest till he establish, until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth. So the men of the Lord are going to be doing this work unto the end, because they're fueled by the Holy Spirit, by the Spirit of the Most High, Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. So the warning is coming by way of the Most High's mouthpiece, which are his prophets. This is Jeremiah 6 and verse 17. Jeremiah 6:17. It says, also I set watchmen over you, saying, hearken to the sound of the trumpet, which is the warning. But they said, we will not hearken. So this is the mind frame of the 2/3, the children of disobedience, the can't get right Israelites, I call them. Those that were not chosen, those that were going to reject the word and have done this before, those that said, let his blood be on us and our children, those that made the golden calf going back to the time of Moses. So once again, everything is playing itself back out again now in this time. So the watchmen are actually blowing the trumpet and warning and doing the work of a prophet. And the elect men are going to receive that, right? That reward for doing the prophet's work. They're going to receive that reward. It's the book of Joel 2 and verse 1. And it says, blow ye the trumpet in Zion, meaning amongst the Most High's people, and sound and alarm in my holy mountain, meaning warn the children of Israel. That's the holy mountain, the government of Yahweh. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, meaning all people that are going to hear this, even the other nations. For the day of the Lord Yahweh cometh, for it is nigh at hand. So the coming of Yahweh Shai is nigh at hand, because the prophets being on the four corners of the earth, simultaneously teaching and preaching, rebuking, and giving warning from the Most High. Well, that's only happened here in the last days on the four corners of the earth. And that's another sign of prophecy, another sign that we are at the end, because the trumpet is being blown day and night on the four corners. This is the book of Isaiah 13. And going to the point in verse 2, Isaiah 13:2, lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain, which means in Babylon the Great, America is the highest government. Exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles. So this truth is going up unto the elites of the society. Right? Now, most people wouldn't think that, because they are not spiritually inclined to see and hear and understand. But this word is going up to the higher ups in the society, the work of the prophets, the children of Israel, the valley of the dry bones, the awakening of the elect of the nation of Israel. Amos 5:10, they hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly. And he that is speaking uprightly is speaking of the men of the Lord that's given the rebuke and those that are actually returning and repenting. That's utter hate and disgust and disdain from our people. They want nothing to do with that. Now, the warning is going out. Who's going to hear it are those who've been chosen to actually receive it. Zephaniah 1:16, it says, a day of the trumpet, an alarm against the fenced cities and against the high tower. So this is Esau, Edom. So this warning is going out in the high mountain, as we read in Isaiah 13:2. Let's read it again. Zephaniah 1:16, a day of the trumpet, an alarm against the fenced cities and against the high tower. So Esau, Edom, the highest tree, the highest mountain. But this is an alarm going out to the Most High's people, first and foremost, starting here in Babylon and throughout the four corners of the earth. So it said the fenced cities. Now it brings this to mind. It's the book of Ezekiel, the 38th chapter. There's different names for Esau, Edom, and America throughout the scriptures. Right? So we heard the fenced city. Let me go down to the point, because this is speaking of God in the land of Magog, going into the Russians today, also known as the Medes. We'll go here. This is Ezekiel 38 and verse 8. It says, after many days, thou shalt be visited in the latter years. Thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword and is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel, which have been always waste. But it is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. Verse 9, thou shalt ascend and come like a storm. Thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land. And that's America being invaded, when you also read in Isaiah, the 13th chapter, starting around the 17th verse. Thou shalt ascend and come like a storm. Thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land. Thou and all thy bands, meaning all of those nations that's coming together, which today that would be the BRICS alliance, or many of those nations and the others that are going to join. Right? They're banded together to fulfill prophecy. And all thy bands and many people with thee, thus saith Yahweh, it shall also come to pass that at that time shall things come into thy mind, that is, these nations, having the evil thought that we're going to read about, which is to actually fire on Babylon, to shoot those nuclear missiles, which is prophesied all throughout the scriptures, known as wasters, destroyers, the smith that bloweth in the coal. These are all names: the glittering sword, the glittering spear, flying arrows. Reading it again, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, it shall also come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. Verse 11, and thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. So you have the land of unwalled villages. And it was speaking before about the fenced cities. And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of the unwalled villages, another name for America, right? In Babylon, I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates. So the land of unwalled villages is going to be invaded. Now, here in Isaiah 47, it gives us even a little more clarity on that land of unwalled villages and dwelling safely. This is Isaiah 47, and I'll start at the top. Isaiah 47. It's taking a little while, Salakia. Excuse me. Isaiah 47. Now, the title here is Lament for Babylon. Prediction of Babylon's fall, the fall of Babylon the Great, which is America. Isaiah 47:1. Come down and sit in the dust, which is confusion, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne. So Babylon is in the midst of being dethroned. O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Speaking of America, the way that America has been seen and looked and treated amongst the nations. Take the millstone and grind meal, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. So this is all the exposing of Babylon the Great. When you read on down, now let's go down further. Isaiah 47:8. Therefore hear now this, thou that art given to pleasure, speaking of America, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. So the pride and that pompous nature of America, as the scriptures tell us in Isaiah 13:11, let me get it and come right back. Isaiah 13:11, this is speaking about the pride of Babylon, thinking that nothing is ever going to happen here in the land of America. Isaiah 13:11, and I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. So back in Isaiah 47:8, the latter half, that sayest in thy heart, this is what America, this is what the man of sin, Esau, Edom says, that sayest in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. Verse 9, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment. It says, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood, they shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries, and for the great abundance of thine enchantment. Verse 10, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. And it also tells us in the book of Sirach that the knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. And in Babylon, I don't think that they're ever going to fall. So that's the doom that's coming to this place, is that it's coming like a thief in the night. It's coming unawares because of the pride and the arrogance. And the Most High, we know in the scriptures, hates pride above all things. This is Isaiah the 24th chapter. Because this is all referring to and making mention of America in the scriptures. Isaiah 24:10, the city of confusion, another name for Babylon, which Babylon means confusion. Confusion means with mixture. The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up that no man may come in. That's why they're trying to shut off the borders. There's a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. So the Most High is slowly but surely taking the mirth out of the land by bringing more plagues, bringing more confusion, bringing more heartache, bringing more mayhem and mischief, bringing more evil, bringing the plagues, the curses that the Most High said he will put upon Babylon here in these last days. So as the warning is going out, the warning is not just going out for nothing. The Most High is actually bringing the things that he said that he was going to do. He's actually, allowing the bottom to fall out of Babylon. He said that Babylon can't be healed. So there's a crying for wine and mirth. The mirth of the land is actually slowly but surely leaving this place. Now, let's get this before we close it out. This is the book of 1 Thessalonians. Should be the 5th chapter. 1 Thessalonians 5. And I'll start at 1. But of the times and of the seasons, brethren, meaning the believing brothers and sisters, ye have no need that I write unto you. Because if you in the Spirit, the Holy Spirit is working with you, you would know what time it is, because you would be in the Holy Scriptures. You would be actually comparing spiritual things with spiritual things. You'd be occupied in prophecy. You would be one that would possess the gift of faith and understanding, which is freely given by the Most High. That's why it says there's no need that we write unto you. 1 Thessalonians 5:2, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Adawan so cometh as a thief in the night. So the coming of Yahushua is unbeknownst to most people. They're unaware. They're not preparing. They don't actually hear the sound of the trumpet. They don't have the fear of the Most High in them, because the trumpet is supposed to bring fear, just as it did in the ancient world when the women and children and those who were not combatants would go down right in the cellars and go seeking refuge and defense from the fighting that would go on as the watchmen on the towers were sounding off the trumpets and the alarm. Now, it says the coming of Yahushua is like a thief in the night. Now, this is so important because here in John Yachanan 15 and 22, this is the end game, John 15 and 22. If I had not spoken the words of Yahushua, if I had not come and spoken unto them, meaning sent the prophets, they had not sinned. But now they have no cloak for their sin. So there's nothing that anyone could do or say to try to reason in the times that we're coming into. There's no reasoning that's going to go on because it says, if I had not come and spoken unto them, meaning if the prophets weren't sent, right, through the spirit of Yahweh and his son Yahushua, then really there would be a charge to come and say, well, look, I didn't know. But it says, but they have no cloak for their sins because the men of the Lord have actually come and actually giving you this understanding, whether you hear, as the scriptures say, or forbear. So that proves, that that this word has went out and that there won't be any reasoning once again going on. There's no one that can come and say, well, that's not fair, or anything of that nature, right? The Most High is not gonna he's not gonna hear any pleas, any crying and wailing, and it doesn't work that way, right? So the believers will be repenting now. So this is what I had to come to mind as well. It's where's that at? It's in Isaiah 55. So there's no cloak for anyone's sins. This is the time to actually present yourself back to the Most High in righteousness, truth, and sincerity, to start rehearsing the righteous acts and offending less, and hating all abominations vehemently, as the scriptures say. Isaiah 55 and 6, seek ye the Lord Yahweh while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near, and he's near right now. Meaning the prophets are still out here doing the work before the Most High remove the men of the Lord, as he said, he's going to cause their tongue to cleave to the roof of their mouths, speaking of the watchmen, of the prophets. Let the wicked forsake his way. That would be a non-believer. Because the scriptures even tell you as well, seek out such that be like thee. And don't worry, don't be curious about how the wicked are going to be punished. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts, and let him return unto Yahweh, and he will have mercy upon him, and to our power, for he will abundantly pardon. He's going to abundantly pardon the sins of the elect, those that are returning today into this word, but returning in truth and in sincerity, in honesty, and actually having a heart for the Most High, those who have a contrite heart, those who are sorrowful, those that seek him with the whole heart. So this word is addressed to you believers that are going to hear this word. The alarm is come before the storm arrives. All praises be to the Most High God, Yahweh, and his son Yahushua. Honors be to the elect elders of the nation of Israel. Barakim La Habayath Madawadah. Blessings to the house of David, you brothers laboring, and to the Akim wa Akwath, brothers and sisters that also listen and believe on the glorious gospel that's being preached throughout the four corners of the earth. Unto you I say, Shalom.